hear from
well.
you?
I hope you are well too.
Yes, I am. I thank the
Good to
Lord.
hear from you too.
Yes. So today, maybe just an introduction, maybe quick introduction of who you are.
Yes, I think, okay, we've been talking. I know people have known us for now, but
Yeah.
it is okay to keep on saying himself. My name is Ann Ticha. I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm also a trainer. I deal mostly with marriage and family, and also adolescents and several other areas like in trauma, like in loss and grief. And also I do training, counseling skills, counseling theories. So I've been practicing for some time now. Yes.
Welcome, and thank you so much for always having time for us and for helping, giving us information based on your understanding from a counseling perspective and as an
Yes.
academician and
Mm.
trainer. So
Yes.
my name is Livingstone, Pastor Livingstone, Revival Mission Church Rural. But also in my career, I'm also in aviation, where I do training in aerospace, aviation training organization in Wilson. And I was thinking, based on my experience, I've been a youth pastor for quite some time before my current position right now as a pastor. And quite a number of questions that have come and I've handled. And I really want to hear what, from your experience on counseling and maybe from
Yes.
insights is on the issues
Mm-hmm.
of relationships. There's a
Yes.
lot about relationships, and especially, for the people who are seeking and those who are being sought and those who are planning and they are wondering, are we really compatible, or do I drop, or do I, there are so many questions that come in. And
Yes.
and maybe to kick us off is maybe the issue of I want to settle. What are some of the issues that I need to consider looking for a
All
partner?
right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me once again here to
Yeah.
discuss this very important subject on relationships, premarital, precisely premarital relationships or relationships that are intended to end in marriage. Okay, now I think the first and foremost thing is that this person, when one is choosing maybe a marital partner,
Yes.
while maybe we may not have a cut and paste kind of
Description.
prerequisites for these,
Yes.
but we can say maybe some of the factors one can explore.
Yeah.
Again, individuals are very unique. So first of all is maybe to ask yourself the interest. What interests do you have as far as this person is concerned? Are you having similar interests? In fact, even in the area of line of work, do you have similar interest in the area of, for instance, in social life? Do you have similar interests? Because sometimes when you have two conflicting interests, this might bring a challenge.
Yeah.
Maybe another factor, for instance, because now we are talking about in church,
Yeah.
what is the faith in God? You know, the levels or the different faiths that one may have. Maybe also probably we can't fail to bring in the issue of even religion. Okay, first of all, talk of religion as in are you of one faith? Are there conflicts as far as your faith is concerned? And much more, even when we go deeper in the region, we talk of spirituality. What is the level of spirituality that you have? For instance, maybe one of you is very prayerful and the other one, is not really so much into that, or one of you is, much a spiritual aspect. One really insists on reading the Bible, on going to church, doing church activities and what have you. But the other person is also very much maybe opposed to that. I have had sessions with clients in the already married, and those are some of the differences they bring in. Another key point is also culture.
Culture.
The culture, yes, the culture.
Mm.
What does the culture say? What is your culture, for instance, in this particular case? Because sometimes people of different cultures may have conflicts
Mm.
in terms of cultural aspect.
Mm.
I have also seen it. Some people may, in their culture, one thing is okay, but the others,
It's not.
in their culture, that's not okay. We have issues like in culture, like the naming of children, for
Yeah.
instance, that
Yeah.
is just a cultural,
Mm.
it's actually a cultural element.
Yeah.
So some people may feel how you are naming the naming
Mm.
of the children. Maybe some people feel, you are is retrogressive. I don't like this. I
Yeah.
like this other. And some other even we may look at them as just trivial or petty, but it's an issue.
Yeah.
Food. Yeah. Food is cultural, the way we have been brought up.
Mm.
Like when we are here in central Kenya, the eating of getheri,
Mm.
we found ourselves doing it. The
Yeah.
eating of ugali,
Yeah.
we found ourselves of doing it. Maybe the way we do that getheri could
Mm.
be very different from the way people in
Mm.
the lower
Modokoi.
eastern do their Mudokoi do their getheri. So and those are some of the things that people imagine it's not a big deal. I
Ah.
had a client, they
Ah.
already married,
Mm.
the couple cancer clients,
Yeah.
and you know what the issue was?
Mm-hmm.
Because this lady would cook with her culture, from the cultural aspect she comes from, they do the green, the green leaves,
Okay.
the, the not the sukumas, the other
The
traditional
Morenda,
the morenda,
the
those
Managu.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once it's cooked, they cook it very briefly, and then they put milk. To her that is very delicious.
Yeah.
But the husband is really complaining that he doesn't want, want
And that becomes an issue.
taste. It becomes an issue. Of course, it will become an issue, especially if there was something else. But if had been discussed before, it will
Ah.
not be an issue. As
Yeah.
in, this person, because you love them, you'd want also to sample their cultural food and what have you. Or maybe you can have an arrangement whereby this person will cook maybe different vegetables with different pots, so
Yeah.
that everyone can be comfortable. If you
I mean,
want to sample from different, you can. If you do not want, then you can eat what you are
yeah.
comfortable with. But
Yeah.
if these things have not been discussed, then it becomes an issue. So that is something
We should.
very key to consider.
And
Maybe
maybe
even, yes?
yeah. What about the issue of timings? Because I had to deal with even young people as like in Form 2, Form 3, and they
Mm-hmm.
they're thinking of having a relationship leading to marriage. What do you say about timing?
Timing of relationship.
Yes.
Well, first of all, in fact, I was coming to that point of
Mm.
age.
Mm. Age. Yes.
Age, yes, the age difference. Now, people say that age is just a number.
Number. Yeah.
But in psychology, we say it has effect. It may have effect because
Mm.
different chronological age presents in itself different milestones or different challenges to be overcome at
Mm.
a particular age. I think probably in one of these we are going to have that,
Mm.
the lifespan, stages of development and their effects. So you'll find that somebody, for instance, is like 30-year-old and probably want to marry a 20-year-old or
Yeah.
an 18-year-old person. Maybe
Mm.
the man is 30 or over 30 and the girl is 20 or 18,
Yeah.
The age gap is very different.
Yeah. The
The
difference is too
interest
big.
of this their interests are very different and
Mm.
they might end up having challenges. In fact, I also have a client, although not a client as such, but she calls to say some of the things that she's unhappy with. But sometimes when I look through, I think it is also the age difference, because I think they have a difference of like more than 10 years.
Wow.
The husband. So you definitely see this person is thinking about this, but now this other one is thinking about this. This person is still thinking about going out, having parties and what have you. She's thinking of, I put a new weave, I need my husband to tell me I'm smart, I'm good, and she's really so much that. Because that in her, that particular aspect is very important. But the husband, on the other hand, is thinking about how do I invest?
Yeah,
How do we
investing.
new maybe another plot, or even how do we make our house better or something like that. So you find that that age gap is brings with it a difference, and whichever in most cases we have, of course, men being older, but of course we also have in some instances whereby the wife can have an age difference with the husband, can be, but maybe a difference of less than 5 years and below, that's okay.
So can it be the other way around? It can be either the lady is older, or the man is older, or
Yes,
must it be that the man must be older?
not necessarily. It can. What happens is that one is talked about. Because again, remember, we are not here to tell people they should not rape. But we are telling them it is good to consider that.
Factors
And
to
when you are
consider.
considering something, what are you doing? When you put something into consideration, it means you will need to have some time to discuss it.
What about traits? In terms of traits?
That will come to that. But another factor which is so very, very key nowadays is the level of education. People, okay, some of these things, people take them for granted. But you find that sometimes you find that this person is a university graduate, the person is marrying is maybe class 8, let's see. Of course, now when it comes to discussions, it will be very hard.
The difference is too.
Yes, the perspectives definitely are different. So when they come on the table, this person is talking on a very kind of, this university graduate maybe will be talking from a very high point of view, and this other one will talking from their level. And maybe there can be a scenario whereby one person may feel intimidated, or the other person may feel frustrated. Because my wife, we can't talk anything of substance. We can only talk about the food. We can only talk about, the curtains, whether there are curtains in the house, or whether we need to change. And like now, even when the issues of politics, for instance, when you are discussing what is the level? And we are not saying that the graduate cannot marry a classic. By the way, especially when we are talking about from a church point of view, we also include God. We say that God is a matchmaker and has a reason. But we are saying these are some of the things people should not ignore. So love is not enough. That's what we are saying. Falling in love is not enough. So you need to discuss, how now how are we going to live in this scenario? Now, you can imagine it will be worse if, for instance, if it's a lady who has a higher
education.
What comes in? Anytime maybe they are talking, the man will feel a sense of inferiority. You are saying that you are learned. You're saying that because you are intimidated, you want to intimidate me because you have your degree. But remember, whether you have your degree or not,
I'm the man of the house.
The man is a myth, especially church guys.
Yes.
They really
I'm the head.
I'm the head. As I talk I'm talking these issues because they are issues which have been brought in my counseling room, and
Wow.
it is very important that we are talking about it because as we talked, in the previous session we talked about dysfunctional families.
Yes,
So
yes.
if people can know some of these things before they get
Before.
into the family,
Mm,
then we will have fewer cases of dysfunctionality.
mm,
Uh, in the families.
mm.
So you might find a scenario whereby, again, as we're talking about the level of even the level of exposure sometimes.
Yeah.
So you will find, for instance, maybe one partner is brought up in town with a lot of exposure, and the other partner is probably
Mm.
uh, maybe don't have such
Yeah,
kind
exposure.
of exposure, yes. So that one will bring in, later on when they settle, will bring in differences. One partner will always be feeling intimidated. They will
Mm.
always be feeling a sense of low self-esteem.
Mm.
And because, and that one, by the way, most of the challenges, remember when you talked about the dysfunctional families, we
Yeah,
said one of them is actually low self-esteem.
yeah, yeah. So the other one is in terms of I am the young man or the man and I want to marry, and maybe I'm still putting up with my parents, or maybe I'm still even not stable. Is it okay? Must I consider maybe if I'm able to manage a family, or I
I
just let
think some
love come in?
that especially you're saying as a man you need to consider you are young probably and
Yeah, the financial. I'm
maybe
looking at the financial stability. Is it a factor I should consider? Yeah.
it is by the even financial is actually a factor matters maybe especially in church we want to say you don't have to consider finances and what have you. Here we are not saying people should get married when they have money. No, we aren't saying that, but we are saying it is good to put it as a consideration. It's something that you consider before you get in. By the way, where will you if you are the man, where will you get money to feed your
Mm.
your family, or
Yeah.
even as the lady, and maybe nowadays I also encourage women. It's not not to live with the stereotype we used to say that the man's money is our money,
Mm.
but my money is
My
my money. You're building the family. What needs is proper discussion because again, it should not be seen like probably if it's the wife who has more money. Maybe the husband should not feel like no, I need to ask her by force or I need to pressure her to make sure
mm.
that, to know that I am the one in charge. That's also an element of low self-esteem. But however, the man now also needs to be aware that he needs to put some finances in place, or rather some plan B. What am I going to? You know, one thing you don't have to have a high flying job. We know nowadays even Kenyans are very good at creativity. Even those in the rural areas, you can grow. Like those in the rural areas now are the ones who are making money because of like growing food, and because the only business which is thriving today
Yeah.
during Corona period is the business of food. Yeah.
Agriculture. Mm.
Agriculture, yeah. So if you can grow food in your area where you are, if you can think of some kind of hustling. So, but it is very important to work on, to remember that love is not enough. You need to put food on the table. But
Yeah.
of course, you also need to put it in a discussion table with the girlfriend that you're marrying. You know, now
Yeah.
this is my status,
And
financial
that's
status.
yeah.
What is your financial status? Yes.
Yeah.
So that we can know, we can work within our limit. You know, Pastor Livingstone, the challenge we have is that sometimes people want to live beyond their means. Moving with the fashion, with the trends, and
Yeah.
what have you.
Yeah.
And that one thereby makes it having even stress because they want to go beyond their
And maybe
means.
yeah.
Mhm.
So the question is, I don't know. These are hypothetical questions, but I always wonder: is there then something that you can say is just a real pure love? because you know there are all these other considerations to look. There's money, am I ready, you know, all these other considerations. So I think what you're saying is other than just falling in love, there are other so many factors: cultural, the age difference, the education level, the exposure, all those things, and the finances that one must
Yes,
consider.
because one must consider, because sometimes there is pure love and there is also infatuation or obsession. I think we'll be talking about that obsession and infatuation, especially when you're talking about the breakups. You know, you may just see someone and you're attracted to them, and maybe because of the way they do, maybe because of what they have, maybe because of, you know, how they talk and what have you. But then there are other points to consider. So we are saying, apart from just love, love is not enough. Oh, it should be the first one. By the way, without love, then there can never be that relationship. It should be the first one, but it is not enough. There are some other things which have to back it up. But of course, it should be the strongest. Because with the if you have genuine love, you'll be able to overcome all the others. But that is no reason to ignore the other aspects.
So the other question is, I have considered all these factors and I've seen this the right person. We, you know, everything is perfect, and then I approach and I go on my knee and I, you know, I ask for their hand, and it's a no. And the rejection that comes in and the pain, you know, and I feel it's, yes, what should I do?
You have considered all those factors, but now this other person now has said,
yeah,
no.
no, not now.
Well,
I have somebody else. You're not my type.
in fact, for us to shelve ourselves from having stress, we need to always have that in mind. We need to have two options in mind, and we tell the young people now, those who want to date, there are always those two things. Can either be yes or no. By the way, that's a factor to consider. Suppose the person say yes, what am I going to do? Suppose the person say no. So you've got to have your plan in place. Just like the way, if you're traveling far away, you are having your car and you're traveling far away, you need to put, you have even a whole tank, your tank is full petrol, but then the fuel is full, but then now you need to consider that wherever you are going, anything can happen on the way, anything can happen, and you find that you need to always have some money just in case you need to refuel your car. So that is the same thing we are saying. It may look very smooth sailing, you have considered all those factors, and you have seen yes, so and so, we really like, we haven't similar interest. When we talk, our cultures are, though they are different, I see like this is somebody we can sit down and talk issues. I like the way they argue out their points. I like the way they have their perspective of life. Pleases me. So this is the person, and so you go, especially now, because in most cases, okay, traditionally or what is expected, although nowadays anyway can be, we find that this man goes to propose, but then he's told no, or even the lady proposes. Nowadays we are also having that.
It's either way.
Either way, and this person, the proposee, we call them the proposer and the proposee. If we can borrow that term from other terms which look like that. Like attendee and attendees, and we say attendees. So let's borrow it and say proposee refuses.
So what do I do? Is it okay? Is it okay then to be angry?
Not really. Why
have the bitterness?
Because now this person also got their preferences. That is actually being selfish. If you are angry because you have been rejected, is actually being selfish. Because this person may have their own other preferences. And if you are just genuine, if for you, you are genuine, you had prayed, you had, because of course, from the Christian point of view, we believe that one must also have some
Pray.
time with God.
Yeah.
Pray. And if this person has rejected you, then do something we call in mindful self-compassion. Remember mindful self-compassion?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
say just walk away. You walk away. Walk away in peace. And like now we have seen those cases whereby the young people are killing each other or kids committing suicide
Because
because
of
they have
rejection.
been, yeah, because of rejection. But who said that is the only fish in the water? It is not the only tree in the forest.
Yeah.
There are very many. And if maybe they have rejected and it was the will of God, God has a way,
Yeah.
has a way of paying you, and also maybe have a way of challenging them if they rejected and it was
From a psychology point of view, why does it seem like it's the end of the world? Why does it seem that that is the only one, and it's like my life has come to an end?
well, why it seems it's like the end of the world, it is just like any other investment. Imagine if you had an investment. Imagine you had bought, you had placed your capital like now, you had bought your commodities to sell, whatever you are selling, and you have really stocked, you have put everything in place, and you have really invested. But then, just one day from nowhere, the whole place catches fire
Yeah.
and everything is danger. So what is going to happen? You'll definitely be frustrated. There will be a stage of frustration at one point. Why? Because you had put a lot of investment. So now the feelings of frustrations are valid. The feelings of anger when one is rejected are valid. The feelings of like this is the end of the world are actually valid and normal. However, your actions, what you do after that, may either be valid or not. You see, what
Yeah.
you do because of your feelings. For instance, if you kill this person because they rejected you, then that is outrightly out of order. If maybe you commit suicide because this has happened, again, this is outrightly out of order. So you need, what do you need to do? So it's like, what do you need to do when you are rejected? First of all, begin from that point and say, individuals have different preferences. For me, I preferred that gentleman or I preferred that girl, but he or she probably did not prefer me. You know, but that is, we call that high order thinking, very cognitive. Remember we talked about the brain.
Yes.
When we talked about the brain, we say the three parts of the brain. We talked about at the back here. It
Yeah.
is called the lizard brain or the
Yeah.
primitive brain. The primitive brain now is that one. That
Survival.
brings danger. The survival brain. This is danger. I can't. What am I going to do? I can't live again. This was my only means of ways of survival. This was the only person I had chosen. This was, now life has come to an end. That's the survival brain. But now we need to activate, to really be deliberate to activate the logical brain, to ask ourselves. You know, when you reach a point and ask yourself, Kwani, are they the only people?
Now you are logical.
Even, yes, if anything, suppose they did not like me, if anything, thank God, it is better this broken relationship than maybe I would have ended up having a broken marriage. That is somebody who is thinking from a logical part of the brain. And that is why from the beginning, you know, things about love, things about relationship, it's so emotional. It is on the limbic brain. Remember the limbic brain, the midbrain. It's about love, it's about the feeling good, the feeling nice and all that, and or maybe the feeling hurt, the feeling of discouragement. Those are actually on the limbic brain, and just like the primitive brain,
Brain, yeah.
they are centered on one way. It is either, they are saying nowadays, it is either my way or the highway. I don't know how
Yeah.
the highway like is not the best option, the highway. Ukiambiwa the highway, it means unakanyanga barabara,
Naenda.
maybe. So now, that is actually the primitive brain talking like that. But the logical brain will begin to, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Okay, she has rejected me. I had really invested a lot on my time, on my money. I had probably even bought her things. I had done all this. I had really had a lot of hope in this. But wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
What does the Bible say about things? How many people are also broken-hearted by other things? You know, that is
Yeah.
also my dose of compassion.
Yeah.
And the other point I've just remembered is that
Yes.
why people feel that it is because they have a lot of feelings of inadequacy. You
Ah.
know, they are, maybe I'm rejected because I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm rejected because I don't have. That is what is happening in the unconscious.
Mm.
It is actually what is happening in the unconscious. That
Mm.
is, maybe I'm rejected because I don't have, good looks. Maybe they've rejected me because I don't have money. Maybe they have rejected me, so I'm useless. That is where now committing suicide comes
Ah.
in.
And
Because
raw
of this,
self-esteem comes in.
you are really, yes, it is self-esteem, low self-esteem, and it is so bad when you
Yeah.
reach there. The Bible calls it what? Hermaya,
Yeah.
Hermione ya kuinyara.
and
the,
and
the place whereby you reach and
yeah, yeah.
you are hating yourself.
Yeah, you say like David, you're like a worm on the earth. You're nothing. You'll never amount to anything, and nobody will love
The
you.
reason why people, yeah, the real reason why people commit suicide, maybe out of a heartbreak, it is themselves. They hate themselves. I don't amount to anything. You mean when this person cannot?
Mm, cannot love
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Only people can now begin to think logically. And that's why we are saying this discussion is very important. If those who are listening us are not engaged, to remember to go in the engagement circle with their frontal lobe.
Mm,
Much as the feelings are there, much as the nice emotions, the feeling good are there, they must also approach it with the cognitive aspect.
yeah.
They must get in also with the thinking and having plan B. Suppose it. We always talk of plan B. Like even we always have this. When I remember when you are doing this Zoom meeting, sometimes you have a plan B off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it has. Like
Yeah.
maybe my home, the network is not working. What do I need to do? I need maybe to look for an office in Vika where there is,
Mm,
what are the plan B? Okay, if I don't have that plan B, then I'll ask myself some
yeah.
questions. Is it a, and by
And
the way,
and maybe another wisdom I think I've seen from the days I've been interrelating with people is I think it's also wise not to start investing in a relationship in terms of money and everything until maybe you have gone to several stages. Because I've seen people even before proposing and
yeah.
they've started pouring money, educating the person, spending a lot of money. And then when they go, the person says no, and it's really depressing. And I think
That,
that also brings, because they have invested so much, even in terms of money. I don't know. What's your comment?
I think precisely. In fact, do not count your. We say what the English people say.
Yeah.
Don't count
Yeah.
your
Chick.
chicks before they hatch. Yeah. Don't start now thinking now I have brooded like 10 eggs. So I'm going to get
Mm.
10 chicks. It may not necessarily be that is true. And if you're helping this person, and that's why I think the genuine love comes in. If you are helping this person, now help them without expecting that they must repay by accepting your proposal. We will not say people should not be helped. But you should not, if you are gracious enough, it's okay, but don't peg on anything. Because in fact, if this person was the wrong one and they come in your life, I want to assure you that will be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Okay. Assuming now the person says yes, and now you've started a relationship, what are some of the tips on the premarital relationship?
If okay, already now they have started, they said yes. I think now the journey does not stop there. As you were saying, all those other, you keep on revisiting them. Number one, when this person has said yes, you immediately log on for counseling sessions. Yes. That's what I want to tell you. Immediately this person says yes, you start your premarital counseling. Don't rush for premarital counseling to the pastor when it is 1-2 weeks. The pastor will not do anything at that particular point. But you need to log in for sessions immediately. So that when you go now for the sessions, because remember it is relationship, it's not yet, you have not yet gotten married. You will, now this is whereby you will go into deeper details of what are your culture, what is your personality. The counselor will be able to give you a personality test. You will have a lot of what are your expectations in your marriage, because most of the reasons why marriages break because of too high expectations. So the counselor will ask you about what are your expectations for this particular marriage. Yes, what are your, suppose this happens as you go on with your marriage, what is going to happen? Maybe what number of children do you intend to have? Suppose you do not have them. So you keep in the premarital counseling, a lot goes on. You are kind of forecasting, trying to forecast what is going to happen. What will be your layback? Where will you lay? What happens if suppose even this person becomes terminally ill? Suppose anything can happen in life. So premarital counseling, this is where we talk about all those things. You will even talk about what are the in-laws, the issues of the in-laws, the issues of finances. You really now into deeper details. How are you going to share your finances? We also talk about the issues of infidelity, because by the way, infidelity comes in marriage because of one of the main reasons is having lack of preparedness before that marriage. Because when you get in, you realize, oh my goodness, I think I did not, this is not what I had bargained for. I'm getting what I did not bargain for, this was not what I expected and all that. And so these people will begin to, even for Mpago Wakando, and of course Mpago Wakando it's not really a solution at all, because you're going also to somebody else who is maybe also having their needs. So they want to fulfill their needs in your relationship. They are not really satisfying your needs. So you need to talk about all this before engagement.
So this stage is very important for you to run the communication and look at issues and be realistic in preparedness of the marriage.
That is it. It is very important to be realistic. So premarital sessions are for preparation. In fact, that's why I'm saying immediately the person says yes. You may even have you are probably dating for like even a year or so before you get married or whichever time. But immediately you realize that you are okay. You start sessions. Why do you start sessions immediately? Because along the way you might find I'm not prepared for this. And you call it quit before you reach the marriage. And when you are calling it quit in the presence of the counselor, in case the relationship does not, looks like, even from your information, when you have informed consent, it looks like it is not going to work, then you'll even have now, even that breakup will not be hurting. Because remember, it was, you've already gone through
the counseling,
session.
and both of you
So
know it can't work.
Yes. But what is happening nowadays? People will just get one another, they move in, they start living, and they are like, hiya, when we are married. They don't. But of course, now, even as we talk to the people in church, probably those who want to wait and do it in the right way, I think that is very important.
Yeah, because they say it's better a broken relationship than a broken marriage. So I think, and the other issue is maybe you'll also run the personality of the other person. I don't know. What would you comment about that during this premarital relationship time?
Yes, during the premarital relationship, that is where you learn the personality types. Maybe we have different psychologists have come up with different ways of gauging or ways of putting the personality types. But all of them somehow, they add up into similar things, similar areas. The very original one is by a guy called A. And he had the four types of personalities. The first one is sanguine, the expressive, those who talk a lot, those who are outgoing. Then we have the phlegmatic. These are the laid down type, the laid back type, the accommodating, the loyal people, all that. The ones who just fit in. They just fit in somehow. Then we have the cholerics. The cholerics are go-getters. Those guys who will rest and
Have energy.
feel. They have a lot of energy, like our former cabinet minister Mishuki, or the current minister for security. CS Matini. Very, very energetic, and they get results, and they are there, they are on the ground. See, they are on the ground to do things. So we have such, and then we have also the melancholic type. Melancholic type are also, they are also called the perfectionists. They may not necessarily, themselves, by the way, are not perfect, but they really demand others to be
perfection.
Perfectionism. You remember what we talked about narcissistic disorder. So that personality disorder.
They never see anything good. You know, they're always criticizing and.
Yes, they are always criticizing. But then now we have melancholics. But they both, all of them, they have advantages and disadvantages. Strengths, not advantages, but we call them the strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. And each one of us got a few, a part of each. But there is the one that is dominant. So during premarital counseling, we are able to help them take those tests. They can take even the 4 tests, the several tests, personality tests, depending on each strand of descriptions, for them to know each other. Because like now, if somebody is a melancholic, a perfectionist, they are good at, but they have their own strengths. For example, they may not fail you. Perfectionists, they are very good when they are employed. They will do the work to the best, to their best, you know. But sometimes they can tend to be very, very overbearing on others. Yeah. So you can imagine our couple. One of them is a sanguine, expressive. Expressive, sometimes they will say things and they will not remember what they say. They will do, they are very, very much organized.
But so during this time, you need to understand each other and know how to relate with them.
That is it. You really need to know each other. You know how, so that you know how to relate. Because some of the, you remember we talked about the dysfunctions. It's as a result of personality difference. So
Ah,
if by